Hi Sagittarius, my name is Gregory Scott. Thank you for joining me today. This is your astrology and tarot forecast for January 2015. So welcome to the new year, first month of 2015. Let's see what's coming up for you. You really start January with some really good financial news. I really see that you either enjoy some sort of a windfall, that some hope and dream that you've been pursuing for ages and ages actually comes true. That you're going to love that. It's unexpected, it's fun, it's superb, it makes you feel like you can move forward, and it's really something that energizes you and that is to do with your work. So it's good news financially at the beginning of 2015 for you, and that's great. Wow. On the 4th of January, Venus goes into Aquarius, and your focus is still very strong in terms of money and really breathing new life into that, or doing something new with the new money that you've got. So you could be purchasing a house or you could be selling a house, but there's a lot of alteration and change to your physical circumstances and the resulting money that comes from those changes. And you will have an increase of money. Now, the 4th of January with Venus and Mars there in the 3rd house, it means that the way you communicate with people and the talks that you're in during this time at the beginning of January will be fruitful in that area. So allow yourself to speak, make sure you check all the contracts that they're right, say your piece, but I really think that you're not going to have any problems in terms of expanding your life, and that you are going to have more, and that this more will give you freedom to choose your life the way you want it. That's wonderful. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? That you have the freedom to shape your life the way you want. That gets even stronger by the time the 5th of January comes around, because Mercury goes into Aquarius in your 3rd house, and it's also the time of the full moon. And the full moon is in Cancer in your 8th house. And it's interesting that the 8th house, I mean, it has many meanings. It can be the subconscious, it can be other people, it can be legal things, but here, with what I've said already in terms of your finances, this could very well be that a court case is settled now on the 5th of January, and that the ruling makes you feel more at home within yourself. It makes you feel more at home in terms of your own money, which would indicate that you get a financial benefit from this. And it could also mean that there's some sort of family financial situation which comes to a close, and which comes to fruition during this full moon period. But I really see that it benefits you in some way, because Pluto and the Sun and the midheaven are in your 2nd house of finances in Capricorn, and it's through your own work and through your own application and engagement with these issues that they're now coming to a close and coming to a head and finishing up for you. Mars goes into Pisces on the 12th of January, and that occurs in your 4th house of family. Again, the focus on money and communication is very strong. I see that a lot of your hopes and dreams are realized in that sense, but also you're able at the same time to heal some family disappointments and recover some family dreams that you've given up on. So, you know, it could be that this inheritance actually brings people closer together, or you run into relatives that you haven't seen for many years, but there's a mending and a reconnection and a building of bridges between you and other people. The new moon occurs on the 20th of January, and it's also the time when the Sun goes into Aquarius on the 20th. You become even more communicative. Your financial plans are now under scrutiny, and you will be focusing very much on, what am I going to do with this money? What's going to happen next? Do I put this in a fixed deposit savings account? Do I buy a property of my own? Do I, now that the court case is concluded, oh yuck, I don't know what that sound was. Now that this court case has concluded, do I start another court case, or do I finish this, or what do I do? But there's a real planning for the future in terms of your finances, in terms of these legal things, if any of the legal things were involved. Mercury then goes into retrograde on the 21st of January, and now things start to slow down a little bit. Whenever Mercury goes into retrograde, communication becomes a little bit more stifled, and things just take a little bit longer. It stays there in retrograde until the 11th of February 2015. So try and get all of this boxed off before the 21st. to avoid any kind of information glitches or things just getting a little bit more complicated for you. And then finally, Venus goes into Pisces on the 28th, and I really would suggest to you that you end this month, January, with building those bridges and spending time with family members, because there's a really wonderful potential to recapture the dream of what a family ought to have been like or should have been like. You know, if you were given up for adoption and you've always resented that, or you've never been able to come to terms with it, there's potential for you to meet up with your birth parents and to heal that relationship. Or if you've always wanted your child to be an Olympic swimmer and they disappointed you and you've never really been able to let that go, there's no shame in that. You know, parents have dreams for their children, and often children are disappointments. It's not ideal, but then there's scope for you to forgive that child and to mend the relationship, because that child will be suffering from that sense of disappointment. All right, without waffling any further, let me give you your card for the month to give you the overall theme here. And it's the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is about you can decide, and you can decide the way this is going to progress. Now, I mentioned around the 20th, you're going to make a decision about what to do with the money, or what to do with the sale, or whatever it is. But ultimately, it is your decision. And not to put the pressure on too much, but this decision can really, it gives you the power to alter your life the way you want it. So really, you decide, okay? Don't compromise too much. Don't let other people's opinions and views and things come into effect, because this is your decision. It's your money, it's your assets that you need to make this decision around. Have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and you can also find me on Facebook, facebook.com/gregoryscott444. I'm using the Radiant Rider Waite deck for this reading. Let's see what's coming up. Okay.